Good morning, my friends, and welcome to this episode of Healing Your Codependency. I'm Marshall Berkshire. If you're new to me, I help codependents, people pleasers, and perfectionists get aligned with their real worth, their real purpose, and their real satisfaction in life so you can go forward and create the things that you want to have in your world. So that's my big goal for you, is for you to discover the power you have to shape your experiences in your reality and generate a life you enjoy. So codependency is not a life sentence. Codependency is how we survived. Creation is where we go from there. So today's Blunt Cake episode is really about admitting to your power and the authority that you hold in your world. So codependency is a reflexive, reactive survival strategy. It's driven by the biological impulse of fawning, or the please and appease impulse is what it's called sometimes. It's usually coupled with the freeze reflex, or a little bit of flight, or a little bit of fight. Sometimes all of them get in there. And it's here as a reaction to life, a reaction to what's coming towards us. And so in this position of reaction, we're typically going to feel very powerless because we don't get to choose what's coming towards us. And we're going to have to deal with the impact it's bringing onto us. And this can generate a sense of helplessness and even hopelessness in our world when our efforts to try to influence what's coming at us fail to change what's coming at us. We see this a lot in our childhoods, where we try to influence the behavior, the attitudes, the energy, the responses and reactions our parents had, or our peers, or the culture around us had, so we could find, connection, or we could get a need met, or we could have some playtime, or have some peace or something. And there's no effect. Whatever we do, whether it's we're protesting, we're complaining, we're pleasing, we're being invisible, we're not being a burden, or we're fighting for it, or we're running from it, nothing changes. And this kind of loop, this repetitive experience for us as children, leads us to believe that we're inherently powerless over what's happening around us, and that we will always be the at the effect of others. We won't be at the cause of anything. We will be just simply the subject of what's happening to us. It's just impacting us over and over and over. No wonder we're scared. No wonder we have massive anxiety. No wonder there's a lot of shame and a lot of perfectionism and guilt, because we're trying to navigate a world in which we feel powerless to influence, powerless to change. And then we lose a contact with our own actual personal power and authority. Now, I define these so we're all on the same page, right? So in my work, authority is the sovereign right to govern ourselves, to govern our resources, govern our time, our body, our energy, our beliefs, our rules, the laws that we internalize that we need to follow. And I'm not talking about social laws. I'm talking about things that we think are true and absolute for ourselves, and to direct how we show up in our relationships, what we do with work or with business or purpose, things like that. It's how we interact with ourselves, others, and life. And so we have the right to govern that. And power is the ability to impact something with choices and actions between ourselves and the world outside of ourselves. So that would be our skills, that would be our knowledge, that would be our expertise in something. And being able to take our authority and apply it through the action of our power to create something we want is basically what we're seeking. We're seeking that through people pleasing, through perfectionism, even through avoiding conflict or being a nice person. And I put nice in quotes because, we're pleasing and appeasing. We're not really being upfront with what we want. Further, we get into the advocating aspect of ourselves, getting more into our aligned identity of who we truly be, following our intuition and our creative power. We're still doing that. We're taking our authority and we're applying it through power to create something we want. These are inherent components to us, but they're not always accessible to us. As children, our power is extremely limited. We're just starting to understand any kind of authority we have over agency, meaning I can make a choice and take an action, and then how do I handle the outcome or the consequence that emerges. In healthy family systems, they're teaching us how to identify and understand our authority and then apply our power in an effective way that generates well-being for ourselves and others involved. In narcissistic, coercive, power-driven systems, our authority is negated. It's shut down. It's attacked. It's shamed. Yeah, you don't have a right to make a choice for yourself. That's selfish. Having boundaries, selfish. Thinking for yourself, selfish. Wrong, bad, evil. Those kind of things are taught to us to help to convince us to deflate our sense of authority and give it to someone else, to make someone else that supreme authority in our world, to make them the ones that are the lawgiver, the rule giver, the one that stipulates what we should be doing in our lives. And when we give away our authority, we become disconnected from the effectiveness of our power, because now our power is being co-opted. It's being used for some external means, and it's not being used for our well-being. It's not being used for our purposes. It's not being used for our satisfaction here. It's being used for someone else's design or intention. No wonder we're unhappy. No wonder we're powerless. No wonder we feel so frustrated with our world and with ourselves, because we have not fully understood our authority. We have not reclaimed it from the things we have given it to. We have not come to embody and know it and use it, and then empower ourselves through our power to create what we want in our world, to receive the intentions we have for ourselves, and to create a positive, lasting impact for ourselves and for those we love and care about. See, to get back to this position, we first must admit that we have personal authority, that we have power. Now, our power is not about changing someone else. Our power is about expressing our desire, taking action towards our desire, and then utilizing and aligning resources that are appropriate for what we desire. So it's never about getting someone else to be different than what they are. It is more about respecting that a person is a certain way, and if that's not aligned with what we desire in our world, we let them go and we go out and find new people, and then eventually we will find compatibility. Then we can build something with that person. That's an expression of how power is impacting our world positively. We are leading through our power rather than trying to control or change something that's naturally outside of our power and outside of our authority. We have no authority over what other people choose to be, do, or have. We only have that over ourselves. So we understand this kind of sovereignty, or what's called natural autonomy in our world. Then it becomes a lot easier to say, oh, that's what they want, and that doesn't work for me. I have to say no. So it's no longer about bargaining. It's more about, hey, this is obviously, we want different things. I support you in getting your different thing, and I'm going to support me in getting my different thing. And to get there, to have these kinds of clarities and boundaries, and to have that kind of confidence that generates that output, we have to first admit to our personal authority. When we admit to our personal authority, we admit to our personal power, then it gives us the ability to reclaim our sovereign worth from other people, places, and things. It gives us the ability to identify our own sense of self, the identity that we're being, and choose to be something different in our world, because we have authority over our own identity. Our identity is not who we are in my work. Identity is the role we play. It's the person we've had to be to get from A to B. So in my work, I call it the survival identity. It's the majority of what we think we are, and it's the majority of who we think we are. That's our codependency. That's our reactivity. That's our shutdown. That's our freeze. That's our flee response. That's our coping mechanisms. All of that there. And then we have this thing called aligned identity, which is rooted in the intuitive self. This is where our brilliance, our creativity, our talents, our gifts, our purpose really expresses itself with ease, with a little bit of magic, things of that nature. to get aligned with our identity, our aligned identity, we have to first admit to our authority and power to choose our identity, and then we can begin to gently unblend from our survival identity and discover who we are in our aligned identity. I do that through my Accelerator 8-week private mentorship program. By the way, we do have spots open, so reach out to me. My website at healyourcodependency.com. Go up to solutions, go down to experience crafting, and then you can apply there. My friends, you do not need permission to have your authority. You do not need an external source granting you authority. That's the other thing here with authority and power. You don't need permission. It's inherently yours. The practice here is to receive it, to acknowledge it, and take it back and go, this is mine, and I'm going to get to know it. I'm going to get to understand it. I'm going to get to embody it. And one place I start with my students in the Codependency healing system is the act of simply letting yourself feel authority. Like, oh, I have the authority to move my room around. I can change it up any way I want. I have the authority to change the job I do, get a different job. I have the authority to say no. It's to start sitting in the energy of it. To start viewing the world through this lens and getting used to how it feels. And then whatever arises, we care for appropriately. And then we move into power. Power is, now we're going to make a choice and take action from that choice and receive the consequence, the outcome it creates, and let it teach us. That way we are creating an education loop and a refinement loop that builds our expertise in using our power so that we can get the things we want and then keep them. But that all starts with acknowledging, hey, I got authority. So you start that with one question. Now, what shifts question for this? What shifts if I trust just for a moment that I am the personal sovereign authority over my life? So I'll give that to you one more time. What shifts if I trust just for a moment that I am the personal sovereign authority over my life? Let that land. Let yourself connect with that. And then let me know in the comments below, or if you link to this through one of my emails, hey, reply in the email. Let me know what you discover in that. Or you can come to the Facebook group or the Telegram group and join us there and share it there. But let yourself walk around acknowledging, hey, yeah, what's the world look like if I acknowledge my own personal supreme authority over my life? What shifts for you there? Let's find out. My friends, when we get deeper into our personal authority, we get deeper into our power, we give up seeking permission, we start taking action instead for ourselves. And this is where we start to nurture deep confidence in ourselves. Because it's like, oh, I don't need permission to go out and get and have what I want. I choose what I want, and then I take action towards it, appropriate action towards what I desire. And then I handle the consequences, let it teach me, and I refine myself and my expertise and power, or use of my power, through this loop. That's what we're really doing here, is learning how to embody personal authority, personal power, and then use it to create things we want in our world. This helps us exit codependency, helps us establish boundaries. It helps us nurture and occupy our true real worth. I call it indomitable worth. And ultimately, it helps us start generating a reality full of experiences that are satisfying to us. This is where we become free more and more and more in our world. So go and play and explore your sovereign authority, your sovereign power, and let's see what you discover in that. And if you want assistance with this, join the foundation system. The foundation is about creating the bedrock of safety for your healing and your growth. It's a 15-week course that's taught on demand that leads you through creating emotional safety. So it's safer to feel your emotions, share your emotions, and then begin to heal the pain you carry, while also acknowledging the joy and peace and the excitement, the energy that emerges as you heal. Helps you establish social belonging and resources so you can begin to heal your attachment anxieties, build connections and friends, and feel less alone in this journey. And then we go into independent self-worth, where I help you unblend your worth from shame and from conditions and start to discover who you are from your sovereign, independent self-worth. This establishes a foundation of profound safety for your healing, for your growth, and ultimately for your satisfaction in your world. The link is below in the description. Also, I've got my Heal for Real Deepening Safety workshop coming up on Sunday at 4 p.m. Come join us there for that. Okay? It's free. The link is below. You can go to healyourcodependency.com to enroll there as well. My friends, this is the work. Becoming powerful is the work. Becoming sovereign is the work. And then developing healthy interdependency in our relationships, building a deep relationship with our core purposes, and then utilizing our power and our authority to bring those things alive in our life. That's what this work is about. It's not just about overcoming codependency. It's about tasting and experiencing a life of satisfaction, purpose that matters to you. And I'm here to lead you in that. So excited to have you here. Thank you again for showing up for this episode. Go gently with this work, and I will see you in our next episode. Okay? Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for listening to today's episode. Now, are you looking for additional guidance on how to exit your codependency and create a life that's satisfying for you? If so, come join me in my email community. You can do that by going to join.freetheself.com or checking the description below and clicking the link there to join that community. You will receive more mentorship and guidance from me on how to navigate the 3 phases of thriving beyond codependency, those phases being survival, healing, and creation, as well as opportunities to join my courses, workshops, and other trainings that I offer throughout the year. So come join us there, and I will see you in our email community. Bye-bye.